Good evening and welcome to La La Land with Brett and Neti. That's Neti Leddel.
And that's Brett Chapin.
And we are here live at the opening night of Neil Simon's Rumors here at Theater Palisades in Pacific Palisades, California. This is a new show here on CRN, La La Land with Brett and Neti.
La La Land.
And we're going to be getting into what that show is about and what we have in mind for the show. It's going to be starting on May 8th. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on in the hour. But right now, Neti, let's talk about Theater Palisades.
Let's talk about it. Brett is a very active part of the Theater Palisades. Brett, what do you do here at the Theater Palisades?
Well, I work on the marketing for the theater, and I'm also an actor. I've done a show here. I did The Diviners about a month ago, just closed. Mm-hmm. And Theater Palisades is a great place. You know, I've been involved for about 3 years, and I really enjoy my time here. You know, it's different than a lot of theaters because it's a real sense of community here. Yeah. A lot of people come here and are involved. We have a board of directors that's very involved with the theater, and it's just a great place. I'm having a great time here.
It is, and Palisades is kind of known for having a group of celebrities and regular people and a little bit of everybody, huh?
Absolutely. You know, theater is very prominent in the Palisades. You know, the local residents come here, and they've been coming here for years. A lot of residents have been coming here for 20, 30 years, and it's a great location, you know, right here on the beach.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
A lot of people like to take the entire day here. They'll start their day off at the beach, go to dinner at night, and then come to the theater in the evening.
That's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience.
And we're really excited to be here because this is the opening night of Neil Simon's Rumors, which is a hilarious comedy.
A farce.
A farce. It's one of two farces that Neil Simon has written. We have an amazing cast. A great crew, and this is kind of the calm before the storm, I guess you could say. Patrons are starting to make their way into the parking lot, and
the show is actually starting at 8 p.m.
Yes.
So we're grabbing the actors early and some patrons just to interview them and talk about their experience and their challenges and kind of just plug and promote the show in general.
Absolutely.
It's a great thing to see if you are in the Los Angeles area. Rumors, Neil Simon's Rumors at Theater Palisades.
Now you can find information about Rumors by going to theaterpalisades.com. It runs from April 1st to May 8th. So we got about a 6-week run. 3 performances per week, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday afternoons at 2.
And we all know about rumors. Rumors are the worst. And Neil Simon sure does it the best. It is hilarious.
Neil Simon knows how to write, definitely. And we're here, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes here on CRN Digital Talk.
La La Land.
With Brett and Neti.
Looking at them just gives me the blues.
Welcome back to La La Land on CRN Digital Talk. And we are here with one of our patrons. We would like to talk to her a little bit. Now, this is somebody who comes to pretty much every opening night at Theater Palisades. She's also an actress here. She worked on Driving Miss Daisy. She played Miss Daisy. And she's a wonderful actress in her own right.
And a beautiful actress.
And a beautiful actress, Miss Ann Lewis. Thanks for coming on, Ann.
It's my pleasure to be with you and share this feeling for opening night. I can only say anyone who's not connected with the theater is missing a wonderful experience. Opening night especially is exciting because not only are you entertained beforehand with refreshments, you see a wonderful show, you go downstairs to the green room, you meet those marvelous actors, you talk to them, you compliment them, you enjoy them, and then you even have refreshments there. anyone who lives in the Palisades or lives near the Palisades is missing the opportunity to share in this wonderful adventure, this theater, this beautiful Theater Palisades. I highly recommend it, not only opening night, but all the other nights. And interestingly enough, there's going to be a festival of new writers,
Yes.
April the 5th, the 12th, I believe, and
The
4th.
26th and May 3rd.
And if you want the opportunity to meet members of Theater Palisades as well as new writers, do come. It's open to the public, free. Refreshments will be served, and you'll have an opportunity to see what this beautiful theater is all about.
Such a great opportunity to learn about the theater and to see a never before performed play.
You said you've been coming here for 30 years of openings. Now, were you acting at the beginning of the 30 years, or did you just start and then get involved in the theater soon thereafter?
I happen to be an actress. The last thing I did here was driving Miss Daisy. I was Daisy Worthing, and it was a gift. It was the opportunity of a lifetime to live this wonderful characters. Yes, I've been coming. I've known the theater 30 years. Whether there have been opening nights that many long length of time, I'm not sure. But I have been a member for 30 years. And as you know, an actress. And just enjoyed the opportunity of being part of this wonderful theater.
Absolutely, it's a great place to be a part of. Now, I know it's hard to pick one thing, but if you could pick one thing that you really enjoy the most about Theater Palisades, what would it be?
I think the people. I think the wonderful people that run this organization. They're warm, they're caring, they're artistic, they're creative. They welcome all newcomers. There's so many things you can do to familiarize yourself with theater. I would say the people. The people make things happen.
People make theater, definitely, and it makes it so much easier, as you know, as an actress, to work with people that you enjoy being around. You know,
No
I
doubt, no
don't
doubt.
know if you've done shows with people you didn't particularly enjoy being around, but it just makes it so much easier when you have people you enjoy.
I happen to be a people person. I do enjoy people of all ages. So basically, it's because of the people that count with me.
Definitely. Now, if you could pick one show, you said you've been coming here for 30 years, and I know, again, this is hard to pick one show, but if you could pick one show that you enjoyed the most, what would that be and why?
I'd say Driving Miss Daisy.
Of course. Of course.
Because,
The show to England.
You took the
Because-
show to England, you said.
no, not driving. We did take Painting Churches. I was in Painting Churches, and we took it to Berlin. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
I love painting churches as well.
Of course.
You see, I'm partial.
Were you raised here in the Palisades?
What's that, dear?
Were you raised here in the Palisades?
No, I've lived here 43 years.
Oh, wow.
Well, such a great opportunity to speak to you, and thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
You're a beautiful woman. Thank you.
Ann Lewis, everyone. So we're going to go ahead and talk to one of the actors in the show, and his name is James Welsh, which is actually interesting because he plays Officer Welsh in Rumors. He's been an actor for quite some time, from Rhode Island. And James, how are you? Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me. I'm really excited about being here.
Now, you're playing Officer Welsh.
I think we should explain that he's a very handsome man in an NYPD t-shirt and looking quite swell tonight and happy.
He looks like he's ready to do a show.
I am, and I'm glad you can't see that I'm blushing right now. but thank you very much. I appreciate that very much.
So tell me, you had an opportunity, we've spoken before, and the thing I really wanted to talk to you about is you had the opportunity to work with Mr. Clint Eastwood recently.
Yes, that was quite an experience.
What was it like? What was he
it
like?
for?
Well, he has an interesting style of directing. He doesn't say cut, or he doesn't start with action. Everything is hand motions, and it's very quiet on the set. No radios allowed, no walkie-talkies. And I was under the impression that, because I've heard that everything gets done so quick, he can do what most directors take 12 hours and 6 hours, that he's fast. He rushes things. Not at all. He is so calm and cool. It's like watching Dirty Harry stroll around, and he's chipper, nice guy. But he's very efficient.
What a great opportunity to
Yes.
be able to work with
and
him.
they call him boss.
So
They don't
where
call
can
him
we see
planter.
you?
Well, I worked on a movie that came out today called The Last Godfather, and I was one of the mob guys. And
Do you get typecast as typecast as mob a lot? Or?
no, mostly police officer, because a lot of my family were Irish police officers in Boston.
I can see that.
Yes, my grandfather was a police officer, so.
Now, you're from Rhode Island. What do the people back home think about you coming up to L.A. and pursuing the dream?
They're pretty excited about it. Of course, I get some small things here and there, and I'm working my way, into bigger parts. And they think that I'm a huge star already, though. In their eyes, I'm loved.
Absolutely. You are.
Now, do you have a full-time job? Because as we all know, acting doesn't always pay the bills.
Well,
do you have something else that you do on the side?
And luckily, I had a trade that my father taught me. He was a painter, and I became a painting contractor, and my son is a painter. My oldest son is a ranger, and he's been in for like 10 years now. He's a career soldier, and I'm real proud of him. He's a Bronze Star recipient. I paint, so in lieu of being a waiter.
Absolutely.
And I can break off and do auditions when I need to.
What's your favorite part about playing Officer Welsh in Rumors tonight?
He's the straight man, and that's funny. He's a pretty cool guy. He gets out there and takes care of business. And it's something to see, because it's an incredible cast, and it's funny.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. And you're going to go downstairs and get ready.
Yes, and you might see me in The Baby. It's thebabysitcom.com, and it comes out every week. I'll be in episode 5.
Excellent. Well, we'll look for you there. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Neti. See you in 2 shakes. Welcome back to La La Land with Brett and Neti. We're here talking to one of the actresses in the show now. Her name's Ivy Khan. She has been an actress for quite some time, and I actually had the opportunity to work with Ivy in a past show here about 3 years ago, You Can't Take It With You. So I know a little bit.
She was amazing, by the way. I saw the show as well.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
Beautiful, amazing, talented actress.
Aww.
Strong actress.
Absolutely, and we grabbed her from downstairs right as she was putting on her makeup and getting ready for the show so that she could come up here and talk to us. So thanks for being here, Ivy.
Of
Literally.
course. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Yanked her up.
Well, you guys can't see Neti, but she's quite beautiful, too. So,
You guys will
Shame
catch
for you
those
guys.
in the publicity pictures later.
yeah.
So you're playing, I'm sorry, what is your character?
Cassie Cooper.
Cassie Cooper. Tell me a little something about Cassie Cooper. What's your favorite part of playing her, and describe her a little bit?
Well, Cassie's she's kind of an every woman. She's written a little bit, she's a little bit, what's the word, temperamental. She's been spurned by her husband she suspects is cheating on her. So I'm sure that most of the women in Los Angeles listening to the show right now has maybe been in a situation where they felt jilted, or that their lover was Neti's nodding. Neti's
Is
nodding.
Is that what attracted you to the role?
I was really attracted to all the roles initially. I mean, they're all really funny. It's a really the play goes at a really fast clip, and there's like a neurotic character, there's a sarcastic character, there's the the jilted lover character, and then there's the total loony bin. So they're all really fun, and I was cast in the jilted lover role. So I think I can kind of not necessarily personally relate because
Well,
men
we
don't
all-
leave me.
Right? No, absolutely
leave
not.
them.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, she's really fun to play. She's a little kooky herself and peeved, and she's obsessed with her crystals. She's sort of some, kind of a new agey type of woman who's constantly carrying around her crystal and uses it as her source of strength. So
And drives her husband absolutely crazy.
yeah, and drives her husband crazy. Yeah.
So go ahead.
How long have you been working at the Theater Palisades?
Well, let's
Or
see. I
any-
did my first show here was, I think, in 2005. I did a show called The Dining Room, and with Laura, who's another actress in the show. And then I did You Can't Take It With You with Brett. Played
Yes.
my adoring boyfriend, and that was extremely fun. That I actually constantly talked to him about how much of a family we had in that show, and that's kind of one of the funnest things about doing theater like this is the sense of community, for
Absolutely.
lack of a better term, that you get when you're at these kind of close-knit theaters, and you really do create a lot of like long-lasting relationships, and it's a really fulfilling experience artistically. And there's not the kind of pressure of this performance needs to be exactly the same every single night. There's room to kind of grow and try new things, and the audience is always super appreciative and very they give very heartfelt applause, and they love you, and they're very warm, and everybody's very happy to be here. So it's a great way to kind of while you're going through the grueling process of auditions for commercials and TV, which can be quite soul-sucking, this is a really good enhancement.
But the audience here is pretty eclectic. It's anywhere from everyday people to celebrities. So it's probably a pretty cool experience to be able to do that. Are you
Absolutely.
from Palisades, or are you a
No.
West Coast? You're an East Coaster?
I'm West Coast. I'm San Diego.
Because
So
Neil
I'm south.
Simon's East Coaster.
Absolutely.
So you are, okay, so you're West Coast, but you came up here specifically for acting.
Exactly. Yeah, I went to UCSD. I got my BA there. Came up here because it was kind of the closest. I can't take the cold weather, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. Neil Simon comes from a brutal land, the
Yes, he
East Coast, the bad far East Coast.
All his shows take place in New York too,
Yeah.
in the East Coast. So
The big bad Albany,
absolutely.
right?
Do you have anything coming up? Do you have any future projects that you want to talk about? I'm
I'm doing a little web series called It's All Still Real to Me, which is it's a little project that my friend Mike dreamed up about a bunch of kids that are still men that are still obsessed with pro wrestling. And I'm lucky enough to be involved in that. Yeah.
Where can people get information about that?
Let's see. I think, it's not officially out yet, so I kind of just announced it. But, I'll be putting updates on ivycon.com, where you can keep up with my...
ivycon.com. How do you spell that?
ivychan.com.
Yes, this is definitely an actress that you want to be watching. She is up and she is coming, and she is definitely on the ball. So
Thanks, guys.
Keep an eye out for that name, Ivy Khan. She's got big things coming up.
Big things, man.
Well, thanks for coming in and talking to us, Ivy.
Thank you. Happy opening night.
Yes.
happy
get down there.
opening night. Go up there and rock it.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.
Get down there and get in the wardrobe. We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Neti.
The blue.
We're back on La La Land with Brett and Neti. We're starting a show here on CRN. It premieres May 8th. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little later on in the hour. But right now we're talking to Andy Frew, who is our lighting designer here at Theater Palisades. Andy's been involved with the theater for about 20 years. And something kind of interesting about Andy, he is actually a neurosurgery specialist as his side job, which is definitely a different type of theater. Thanks for coming on the show, Andy.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So you've been involved for about 20 years at Theater Palisades, is that right?
Actually, it's the first show that I was involved in was a black comedy, and I produced that with Pat Perkins. And then since then, I've been producing or doing light design, sound design, painting sets, sweeping the floor, selling cookies, whatever it takes. This is theater.
Doing
You
what
do
you
a little
have
bit
to
of
do.
everything, yeah, and that's what makes it fun.
Absolutely. How did you come to be involved with Theater Palisades?
Well, I moved to Palisades about 28 years ago, and when I moved here, where we are sitting right now was a big piece of dirt with some foundation on it. It took about 9 years for the building to be completed, and I was intensely curious about what it was going to be. So it finally opened in '89, and I came to a number of shows, and there was a little note on the newspaper on the front page of the Post that they were looking for volunteers. I wandered over, and they took me around. They showed me the really cool stuff up in the light booth, and I was hooked. I really enjoyed it. I've been having a great time ever since.
That's a great thing about Theater Palisades is they really encourage people from the community and outside the community to be involved.
Oh, absolutely. Join the family.
You were wandering around. What were you doing during that time before you were involved with the theater?
Oh, well, working mostly.
At UCLA as a neurosurgery specialist, right?
Actually, at that time I was working for LADWP as an engineer and bored out of my skull. It was later that I ended up going to UCLA and becoming a neurosurgery specialist.
A neurosurgery specialist.
Yeah.
Who does the lighting here at Theater Palisades. Wow.
That's two different worlds, definitely.
Very different. The inner world of brain mapping, which is what I do, and then the whole creative side here at Theater Palisades. What I love about projects here at Theater Palisades as opposed to the projects at UCLA is we can fail miserably here, and half of the audience won't notice. The other half will love it anyway. No one will be blinded or deafened or paralyzed.
Right.
And we'll all have a good time doing it anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Not that we ever fail miserably at Theater Palisades.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what you consider miserable. If I miss a light cue, I feel like I failed miserably.
It's kind of funny. Sometimes you can see Andy up in the light booth, and he's out there with his iPad working on the brains and doing his work while he's working the lights. So he's a multitasker.
So tell us about what the difference is. You know, you're doing a Neil Simon farce as opposed to, you know, like a more of a musical theater piece. What would be the challenges and the differences between the lighting, trying to figure out the lighting world between the two?
Well, typically a drama or a farce is going to be a little more realistic on the lighting. You're going to have a lighting that looks like a room in the daytime or a porch at night, whatever, and you don't have a whole lot of creativity or flexibility. Whereas a musical, anything goes. You can do the wild colors, just change the scene from second to second, from verse to verse. You can change the whole feeling of the lighting. It's a much larger challenge, which you have much greater opportunities to be very expressive with it. And it also depends largely, as much so, on the director and what the director wants to see, how he wants the piece to be presented. So every show, it's going to be something different.
What made you get into lighting in general? Are you from the East Coast or Seattle, perhaps, where there is no light?
You never have any lighting?
What's the deal?
No, I've for many years, actually since I was 5, I've been a photographer. My parents gave me a camera when I was 5 years old, and I've always been fascinated with lighting and setting moods and creating effects, etc. with the photography, and then suddenly to have this opportunity to do it in 4 dimensions, meaning you have the time dimension, and
Wow.
Anyway, it's just a marvelous way to express beyond what I would normally do with the camera.
4 dimensions. Okay.
Now, if you could pick one thing, and this is something I asked Anna earlier, and I know it's tough to pick one thing, but if you could pick one thing that you enjoy most about Theater Palisades being here, what would it be?
Family.
Which is similar to what Ann said.
Yeah. It's just like a big, extended, sometimes dysfunctional, but happy family.
Right. What is theater without the community?
Exactly. And it's a very interesting community because we have those of us who work behind the scenes, that direct or work the box office or paint the set, that we're here all the time, and then we have this sort of transient group, the actors that come, and they're part of the family for a while, and it's great fun, and then there's the show ends and there's this sad departure, but then some of them come back and we have we're reunited, and it's just a marvelous sense of community.
I'm sure a lot of the actors want to come back. They absolutely.
I know after I did my first show, I definitely wanted to come back.
And he's still here.
I'm still here.
And he's still here on the chair.
And, the thing that's interesting, too, about Theater Palisades is we've had a couple of celebrities work here. I know that Amy Adams did a show here back in around 1990.
That was spring of 2000. We did Crimes of the Heart.
Spring of 2000. I know Zoe Deschanel has worked here.
Yeah, she was I believe she was a runner-up for Miss Palisades several years ago. So she did her gig here on our stage several years ago. I don't think she got it, unfortunately, but she's certainly gone on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, she's done okay for herself, right?
Absolutely. And something interesting too, Tom Hanks's niece did a show here about a year ago, and he came to see the show
with his wife, Rita Wilson. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, she's going to be on the stage here Tuesday night.
Rita Wilson?
Carly.
Carly, his niece.
His niece will be here, yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
And what is she here on Tuesday night for? What's she doing?
That's the staged readings we're doing. It's original pieces done by Palisadian playwrights. This Tuesday is Turning 30 by Lisa Visca. So it'll be a premiere of the piece in a staged reading form. So it's not.
Wonderful.
And we're
the
going to be
coming.
We're going to be having those every Tuesday for the next 4 Tuesdays, I believe.
Yeah, I believe we're skipping the third Tuesday because I believe is that Passover.
I think so.
There's something going on, so we're moving. So there'll be actually 3 Tuesdays in April, and then the first Tuesday of May.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on and talking to us,
Thank you for having
Andy.
me. It was great fun.
And get up there in the booth, get ready to go.
Time to get back to work.
Showtime.
Time to rock.
We'll be back on La La Land with Brett and Neti.
Brett and Neti.
On Broadway, looking at them just gives me the blues.
Hello, and we are La La Land, and I'm Neti, and this is
Brett Chapin.
That's right.
And we're here at Theater Palisades for the opening night of Rumors by Neil Simon. We've got a lobby full of patrons getting ready to go into the theater as soon as it opens up. And we're here right by the beach. This is an amazing location and getting ready for a great show. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how to be involved at Theater Palisades because we actually have auditions here coming up tomorrow. That's April 2nd and April 3rd. For a show called Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. That's a musical by Stephen Sondheim. And so if you would like to be involved in those auditions, you can find information at theaterpalisades.com, or you can give Theater Palisades a call at 310-454-1970. And we're also having auditions coming up for our youth theater. We do 5 main stage shows here and about 3 youth theater shows per year. And the auditions are for Little Women. That's going to be April 15th and 16th, with performances running from July 22nd to July 31st. A couple of other shows that we have coming up this season, Rabbit Hole, which was recently made into a film with Nicole Kidman. Neti, did you get a chance to see that?
I haven't seen that. Wow. No, I haven't. With Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I hear it's a great film. So it would definitely be a show for any actors that want to be involved in a highly dramatic piece to come on out and audition for that.
Absolutely.
And October 28th through December 4th is Light Up the Sky by Moss Hart. That's a very funny comedy. And that's the last show of our season. We're really looking forward to that as well.
Wonderful. And we are currently here tonight to celebrate the opening of the Theater Palisades, Neil Simon's hilarious farce, Rumors, which he wrote in 91, I believe. And it is pertinent to contemporary times. We are celebrating it right now. I just heard the popping of champagne. I don't know if you heard that. The show will actually start at 8 p.m. So that's coming up in less than 15 minutes.
It sure is. And, Neil Simon is such a well-known and well-respected playwright. I believe, actually, Neti told me earlier that he has been nominated for...
We were actually gonna do like a question, a Q&A, like, can you figure this out trivia type thing? Remember?
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
Little ad lib here on the radio.
Okay.
Okay, you have a question for me about Neil Simon.
Well, first of all, I'd like to talk about Neil Simon just a tiny, tiny little bit. Because
Absolutely.
I think that he's pretty incredible. Anybody who doesn't know anything about Neil Simon, he was raised in the Bronx. No, he was born in the Bronx, and pretty much raised by a single mother. His father kind of skipped out every now and then. He wasn't necessarily around, so it.
So I would imagine that gave him a lot of really good life experience.
It
for
gave him
writing
a lot
shows.
of good life experience. He was done with high school by 16, but he actually was raised in Manhattan.
Which is where most of his shows take place.
And he has his own, he has his own theater named
For him?
Neil Simon Theater. Absolutely, yeah.
Must be nice.
I'm sure it is. I would love to see it. Trivia about Neil Simon. How many Tony nominations has Neil Simon garnered in his lifetime? How many do you think?
I'm gonna say 17.
You totally cheated.
I totally cheated.
Okay, how many has he won?
3?
You're such a Can you imagine being garnered for 17 Tony nominations? He's pretty amazing. He has definitely shaped theater in general, live theater, and also film. He's a screenwriter. I don't know if you have seen any of his films, but one of my favorites is Lost in Yonkers.
Which is a show that we did here last season, actually.
And one of my favorite parts is the little boy, the uncle teaching the little boy what Moxie is. He said, you want to know what Moxie is? And he pulls up his sleeves and he says, "Come here. That's Moxie." And the little boy was like in awe. He's like, "Wow, that's Moxie."
Well, that's a good way to learn about Moxie.
Neil Simon is a big East Coaster, and he really knows the East Coast.
And, you know, the thing about this show, too, is we have such an incredible cast working on such a well-written play that it's really something not to be missed.
It is an incredible cast, and you know what? It's a bunch of it's not he doesn't cast comedians, although he's had a lot of comedic people like Shirley MacLaine and Steve Martin and Woody Allen and Peter Sellers and Michael Caine and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. But he says, he actually quoting him, "I don't like writing for comedians. I like writing for actors. The best comedians are actors." And these really are, truly, even in a farce.
Well, because as you know, as an actress, when you're doing a comedy, if you're trying to be funny, you're trying to make a joke, it's not going to work. If you're acting the joke, it's probably going to go over well with the audience. The more sincere you are, the more audience is going to pick up on that.
Absolutely.
We're here again at Theater Palisades for opening night of Rumors by Neil Simon. Now, Neti and I have a show beginning May 7th on the cable radio network La La Land.
La La Land.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back, give you guys some information, and let you know how you can keep listening to us. We'll be back. La La Land with Brett and Neti. See you in 2 shakes.
Looking at them just gives me the blues.
Welcome back to La La Land. That's Neti Leddel.
And that's Brett Chapin.
And we're going to tell you guys a little bit about this show, La La Land, that I am so excited about and looking forward to. We're premiering on May 7th. That's a Saturday at 3 p.m. We're going to be following the Robert Conrad Show, which is a great time slot.
That's right. If anybody knows about Robert Conrad, he is a big man in the cinema.
Absolutely. And we're looking forward to working with him on CRN. Now, La La Land with Brett and Neti is a show for Los Angeles artists by Los Angeles artists. We want to bring on some artists from the community, whether it be actors, musicians, painters, directors. It doesn't matter as long as you're from the Los Angeles area And we want to talk to them about their stories, get their story told. There's a lot of undiscovered talent in
That's
LA.
right. Get the undiscovered discovered.
Absolutely. Talk about what they're doing with their current projects, and give them a little exposure, because as you know, a lot of actors and artists fly under the radar sometimes, and they'll get the exposure they deserve.
That's right. Everybody in Los Angeles has a story, and some stories are probably a little bit more interesting than others. So we'd like to get the interesting and also some of the celebrities on. See what's going on with them, huh?
Absolutely. If any of the audience members are interested, are artists in Los Angeles and would be interested in coming on the show, you can send us an email to lalalandtalk@gmail.com or lalalandradio@gmail.com. You can hit us up on our Twitter, which is lalalandtalk, or send us a friend request on Facebook at lalalandradio with Brett Chapin and Neti Leddel.
That's right. LALARADIO. No, I'm sorry. La La Land.
La La Land Radio.
Okay, well, I'm going to be made fun of for relentlessly for the next hour and a half.
And also lalalandtalk@gmail.com. 2 ways to get in touch with us, guys.
Awesome. We are both artists ourselves. We're both actors, and we're both interested and involved very heavily in the theater and cinema scene in Los Angeles. And this is all about Los Angeles artists in general, production people as well, and
we are so looking forward to the show.
it's going to be an awesome show. Yeah,
Yes.
we've got a lot of really, really cool people lined up in general. So,
And a couple of special surprise guests along the way, I'm sure.
yes, we do.
Now, we're here again at Theater Palisades for the opening of Neil Simon's Rumors. And I'm going to end with a little quote here about theater. This is a quote by Miss Sherry Renee Scott, who is a very well-known Broadway actress and a very smart woman indeed. And I think this quote really sums up the evening. Again, we have a lobby full of patrons, and they're about 5 minutes from showtime. The quote goes like this. It says, "The most beautiful thing about theater is also the saddest. It's like life, real life. Any picture that you take or video that you make of yourself isn't really an experience. It's only an image that represents an experience you had. In theater, the process is the experience. Everyone goes through the experience together, and everyone shares in the process. It doesn't last, only in people's memories and in their hearts. And that's the beauty of it, and the sadness. But that's life, beauty and sadness. And that's why theater is life." Thank you so much for joining us on La La Land with
you.
Brett and Neti.
Absolutely. Good night.
For more information about Theater Palisades, go to theaterpalisades.com or give them a call at 310-454-1970.
And keep it real, keep it live, keep it theatrical. Come out and support Theater Palisades.
Absolutely. An amazing place, and
And we'll hear you soon.
we'll hear
on
you
Radio
soon
Land, on La La Land.
with Brett and Neti.
That's right. That's Brett.
That's Neti Leddel. We're going to go in and watch a show right now.
Bye.
See you at the top.